Hello and welcome to this discussion on the international and bilateral issues, especially in paper 2, in the main exam. In fact, many a times we think that it is only for main exam and that too in paper 2, but that is not correct. In fact, if you look at the previous year questions of preliminary exam, on an average 4 to 5 questions every year, which we otherwise call it as current affairs, is linked to the international and bilateral issues, international institutions, etc. Another very important aspect of this particular area is, in the essay paper, every year, 8 out of 10 years we can say, at least one question is related to international and bilateral issues or international institution. So this area should not be seen only in the perspective of paper 2. This has to be looked from the point of view of preliminary exam, 4 to 5 questions minimum. For example, in 2018, 7 to 8 questions came. Then, in the essay paper, we are getting on an average at least one question linked to international and bilateral issues. So this is a very interesting area. Otherwise, the students find it very difficult to have a particular book. It is purely based on current affairs and the various articles and analysis which comes in the newspaper, especially the Hindu newspaper, the Indian Express, or any other website of international repute. And you can even keep track of BBC, Washington Post, the New York Times, and even Al Jazeera, or even the Diplomat. So these are some of the websites from where you can collect information. I have no specific book to talk about, because generally these are all current affairs related. In fact, if you look at the instructions given for the main exam, because this is clearly linked to the main exam. So the main exam is intended to assess the overall intellectual traits and depth of understanding of candidates, rather than merely the range of their information and memory. So it's not a test of memory and information, it is a depth of understanding and the overall intellectual traits. Then the nature and standard of the questions in general studies paper will be such that a well-educated person will be able to answer them without any specialized study. It's very clearly mentioned in the notification. Without any specialized study, a person can answer. Then the questions will be such as to test a candidate's general awareness of a variety of subjects, which will have relevance for a career in civil services. And most importantly, one last sentence which is written in the notification is very important. The questions are likely to test the candidate's basic understanding of all relevant issues and ability to analyze and take a view on conflicting socio-economic goals. Take a view on conflicting socio-economic goals. Socio-economic goals, objectives and demands. Socio-economic goals, objectives and demands. See, this is a very important part. This is what, if you understand this point, then it's very easy. See, you need to have an opinion. You have to take a view on conflicting socio-economic goal. Your view is very important. Your opinion is very important. Exam demands this. In fact, this is the notification. I am once again reading that. The questions are likely to test the candidate's basic understanding of all relevant issues, basic understanding and ability to analyze and take a view on conflicting socio-economic goals, objectives and demands. So this view is very important. So in our discussion, the discussion which we do in the subsequent videos, we will help you in creating a view for you, so that you can use this view in the exam, not only in the main exam. Your view is very important for interview also. That will tell what kind of person you are, what is your character. Your personality will be judged based on the views given by you on various issues across the globe, including the international bilateral issues. So your view, your opinion is very crucial. That is what we are trying to help you in getting. Then, as I mentioned earlier, essay is a very important component. 2 essays we have to write, 125 marks each, and 1.5 hours of this paper. So in this essay paper, you please see that again you have to, and they will be expected, the candidates will be expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay and arrange the ideas in orderly fashion and write concisely. So anyway, so examiners will pay special attention to the candidate's grasp of his material, his relevance to the subject chosen, and his ability to think constructively and to present his ideas concisely, logically and effectively. That is what is clearly mentioned. So you have to think constructively, concisely, logically and effectively. So marks will be given for that. See, one example I give in 2019 paper, one essay question. So this was related to South Asia. It said South Asian societies are woven not around a state but around their plural cultures and plural identities. So South Asian societies are woven not around the state. So the understanding of South Asia, the South Asian problems, the South Asian, the communities, the ethnic, the racial, differences, the cultures. When we study India, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, India, Bhutan, or India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, when we study all these things, international bilateral issues, we are actually trying to get a picture about this. So not woven around the state, but around their plural cultures. But around their plural cultures and plural identities. And plural identities. Similarly, this is a 2019 question. 2018, management of Indian border dispute is a complex task. So border disputes are we have border dispute with Pakistan, we have border dispute with China, we have some border dispute with say Bangladesh, which is almost settled, and maybe with a bit with Myanmar we can say. So management of Indian border dispute is a complex task. We can easily answer this question if you have an understanding of India's relationship with India, Pakistan and India, China especially. So 2018 is a pure international bilateral question we get. In 17, very interesting, in 2017, there was a question, has the non-aligned movement lost its relevance in a multipolar world? Has NAM lost its relevance in a multipolar world? Has NAM lost its relevance in a multipolar world? So 2017 question. Then 16, it is something related to gender equality and the international issues related to women. It said if development is not engendered, it is endangered. 15, can capitalism bring inclusive growth? See, all these answers we can answer if you have a better understanding of international issues. The development of various aspects happened in the historic past. In 14, it said with greater power comes greater responsibility. In the international context we can answer, in the bilateral context we can answer, within the country we can answer, but then in 2009 there is a question, are we a soft state? Is India a soft state? Or in globalism versus nationalism? Then in 2007 or rather in 6, we said importance of Indo-US nuclear deal. So depending upon what is happening around that time, in 6, Indo-US nuclear deal was in 2005, so the question in 2006, importance of Indo-US nuclear deal. And globalization would finish small scale industries in India, another question. Terrorism and world peace in 2005. So depending upon the events happening around us, see, coronavirus and maybe the global pandemic and the relation and the related aspects and the related geopolitics can be a question in future. So what I am trying to say here is, these international issues are not only important for paper 2, these are also important for your essay also, as well as in preliminary you can expect minimum of 5 questions. So in the main exam, let me come back to the main exam and the paper 2, this is where it's specifically mentioned. It talks about international and India and its neighborhood relation. The first of all, so 3-4 points which are mentioned, India and neighborhood. Neighborhood relations. So then bilateral, regional and global groupings. So all groupings it's important, whether it is SAARC, whether it is BRICS, whether it is ASEAN, UN, bilateral, regional and global groupings. Bilateral, regional, global groupings. Agreements involving India and affecting India's interest. So, groupings and agreements. Groupings, bilateral, regional and global groupings and agreements. Then effects of policies and politics of developed and developing countries. Various policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interest, Indian diaspora. Then important international institutions, agencies and fora, their structure, mandate, etc. So, international institutions, bilateral, regional, global and the global agreements, groupings involving India, affecting India's interest. So, that is what is generally mentioned in the syllabus. And in the preliminary exam, it is clearly mentioned important international and national issues. So, in preliminary also it is there, and if you look at the previous year questions, I know like about United Nations, see, and if you can, when we get, in fact in the main exam, what we are getting right now in the last 2-3 years, minimum of 4 questions. So, 2 questions of 15 marks and 2 questions of 10 marks each. So, this is becoming 50. A couple of years before there used to be 5 questions. So, what we can expect from this international bilateral in paper 2 is anywhere between 50 marks to 75 marks. It varies, but minimum is 50 marks and maximum can be in the range of around 75. So, maybe 62 and a half, 65, yeah 75. So, up to 75 marks worth question you can expect from this particular area. And if you, when we look at the overall scheme of things, and first of all India, and if you classify the syllabus, number 1 is India and its foreign policy. Foreign policy is very important component, and which has basic principles, the persons of Indian origin, India and the Commonwealth, India's a policy towards the nuclear weapons, the evolution, the idealism, various aspects of realism in foreign policy, then our Panchsheel, so various aspects, the way we have evolved, the look east policy. Then non-alignment is a very important component, non-alignment. Non-alignment and the foreign policy as a foreign policy principle, and where do we stand today, all these aspects are very important. Number 3, our look east, towards ASEAN, eastern side of the globe, okay, the look east policy, and today we call it the act east policy, the look east policy, and the issues as related to that. Then and in the process the India-ASEAN relations. India-ASEAN is very important because 10 countries here, and our relation, East Asia Summit, and then RCEP, and all those aspects related to the free trade agreements which we are talking. Then Indian Ocean region, after Prime Minister Modi came to power, Indian Ocean region is very important. Indian Ocean region, the islands, the Sagar project which we are talking, Indian Ocean region and India's foreign policy, very important. Then another area is the India and SAARC, South Asia. And why SAARC is not functioning, or what are the problems in SAARC? Then India and BRICS, and this is one important grouping which has happened in the last 10 years. So India and BRICS very important, and various other organizations like SCO, India and EU, India and African Union, India and IPSA, India, Brazil, South Africa. So a series of organizations we can talk about here. Then the nuclear related issues, India, and another broad area where we need to know is India and the nuclear related issues, India and the nuclear related issues. Then and in that NPT, CTBT, enrichment of uranium, India and Iran in the context of Iranian nuclear controversy, so in a North Korean nuclear controversy, a series of issues, nuclear supplier group, in International Atomic Energy Agency, so a series of, and various other arms control treaties. Arms control treaties like the nuclear, the START treaty, nuclear, security summit, START, SALT, then chemical weapons convention, biological weapons convention, all these, where India, MTCR, Missile Technology Control Regime, MTCR. So, various international arms control treaties and India, then UN and India, United Nations Organization, WTO and various associate organizations and UN structure, restructuring of the UN Security Council, India's chance of becoming a member of the UN Security Council as a permanent member, then even institutions WTO, then FAO, World Health Organization, all these organizations as associate organizations and all. So, very important. Then coming to specific relationship after these major institutions and organizations and bilateral and multilateral issues, now Indo-US relations. Then India, China, India, Pakistan and the entire relationship in South Asia. Then other big powers like India, Japan, then India, UK, India, EU I already mentioned, now France, Germany. So, a series of countries, big countries where various aspects of India's foreign relationships are associated. We need to know about all these things. So, it is slightly broad and most importantly, if you know some of the basic understanding, the basics, the backgrounder, the history behind a bit, we need not have to go deep like a political science graduate, but at the same time some historical underpinning and history is required. So, I will be trying to cover all these aspects such a way that as a as a well educated individual of this country, a youth of this country, you have some understanding of India's foreign policy, foreign relations, the background behind all these things. So, it is very exciting area and a series of videos will be there and I have identified these around 20 major headings and around 150 to 175 subheadings. Each will be covering a particular aspect which is very relevant for the exam. I am not going to cover anything which is not so relevant. So, which is relevant and easy to understand, which will help you in answering, which will help you in analyzing, understanding and even answering the questions the way it is being asked in the main exam, which will be useful for your preliminary also, it will be useful for your essay also. So, that is how we are planning this and this will be an exciting area for you. Otherwise, there is no standard material as such available in the market. So, you will have to collect information from newspapers and websites, and other than that, and if you are following my lectures, the subsequent videos, I do not think you need to do anything beyond this and it will be nice and great if you join us for the subsequent lectures.